Chosen one, the moment you've been preparing for is finally here. You may not have seen it coming, but deep down your spirit knew this day would arrive. This is not just another challenge. It is the ultimate test of your faith, strength, and endurance. Everything you have learned, everything you have overcome, and every hardship you have survived has prepared you for this defining moment. This is the crossroads where your destiny is decided, where your patience, trust, and unwavering belief in God's plan will be measured. The weight of this test may feel overwhelming, but remember, God never gives a battle to His chosen ones unless He knows they are ready to win. This is the moment that separates those who are truly called from those who are not yet ready to walk in divine favor. The pressure may be intense, the obstacles may seem insurmountable, and the silence from heaven may feel deafening. But this is where true warriors are forged, where champions of faith prove their resilience. It is in these final moments before the breakthrough that many lose heart, give in to doubt, or retreat into fear. But you are not just anyone, you are chosen. That means you were built for this, prepared for this, destined to overcome this. Everything you've endured has led to this point, and what you do next will shape your destiny forever. If you hold on, if you stand firm, if you refuse to be shaken by fear, then nothing can stop you from stepping into the incredible future that awaits you. The question is, will you rise and pass this final test, or will you allow the weight of the moment to pull you back? The choice is yours, and heaven is watching. Stay strong, chosen one. You are closer than ever to your divine breakthrough. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why your trials seem to intensify just before a breakthrough? Why, after everything you've endured, you suddenly face the greatest test of all? It's because God never allows a final test without a purpose, and He never puts His chosen ones through suffering without a reward waiting on the other side. This is not just another obstacle. This is the defining moment that determines whether you are ready to step into the fullness of your divine destiny. The weight you feel right now, the pressure that seems unbearable, is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to shape you. It is meant to refine you like gold in the fire, to remove every last trace of doubt, fear, and weakness, so that when your blessing arrives, you will be fully prepared to receive it. Think of every great man and woman of faith who came before you. Joseph had to endure betrayal, slavery, and wrongful imprisonment before he became ruler over Egypt. Job had to withstand the complete loss of his wealth, family, and health before God restored him with double blessings. David had to fight Goliath, flee from Saul, and endure years of hardship before he finally took his rightful place as king. The pattern is always the same. The final test is the hardest, the most painful, the most confusing. It makes you question everything, even your own faith. It isolates you, leaving you feeling like God has forgotten you. But the truth is, this test is proof that you are closer than ever to your divine breakthrough. The enemy knows what's coming, and that's why the attack is stronger than ever. God never tests His chosen ones without a reason. The reward that follows is greater than you can imagine. But here's the catch. The test must be passed. This is where many give up. This is where faith is either solidified or shattered. You may feel like quitting, like walking away, like surrendering to the pain and uncertainty. But don't. Stand firm. Push through. Keep believing, even when nothing makes sense. Because the moment you endure this final test, everything you've lost will be restored, multiplied, and glorified beyond anything you ever dreamed possible. Chosen one, your greatest reward is waiting. Do not let the weight of the test make you forget the promise that awaits on the other side. Chosen one, you are not going through these trials by accident. Everything you are facing right now has been divinely orchestrated to test, refine, and prove you. This is not about punishment. This is about preparation. God already knows what He has planned for you. He has seen the future that awaits you, the position of influence you are meant to step into, the blessings that are about to flow into your life. But before He releases it, He must know one thing. Are you truly ready? Can you handle the responsibility, the weight, and the magnitude of the blessing He has prepared for you. Because with great blessings come great tests, and only those who prove their worthiness will be entrusted with divine favor beyond measure. Think about it. Would a king hand over his kingdom to someone who has never been tested? Would a leader entrust great wealth, power, and authority to someone who has not shown they can handle pressure? No, because without trials, there is no proof of character. Without testing, there is no way to determine if a person is ready for elevation. God works the same way. He is not looking for those who want blessings without sacrifice, abundance without endurance, or greatness without struggle. He is searching for those who can endure pain without losing faith, who can face betrayal without becoming bitter, who can stand strong in the storm and still trust in Him. The trials you face now are not meant to break you. They are meant to reveal what is inside you, to expose the depth of your faith, and to prove that you are ready for what is coming next. Many people want the reward but refuse the process. They want the crown without carrying the cross, the elevation without the endurance. But that is not how divine favor works. God's greatest blessings are not given to the weak-hearted or the easily shaken. They are reserved for those who have been tested, refined, and proven worthy. You may feel like you are being pushed beyond your limit, like you are being stretched in ways you never imagined. But this is the exact moment when you must not give up. Because on the other side of this trial is the very thing you've been praying for. The doors that have been closed will suddenly open. The battles that seemed endless will be won. The struggles that have weighed you down will be lifted. But first, you must endure. You must pass the test. You must prove, not to God, because He already knows, but to yourself and the world, that you are truly ready to receive the unimaginable blessings that are on their way. Stay strong, chosen one. The trials you face today are only setting the stage for your divine breakthrough. Chosen one, you have been fighting for so long. You have endured storm after storm, trial after trial, setback after setback. You have kept going even when you felt like you had nothing left to give. But now you find yourself in a place where exhaustion has settled deep into your spirit. You feel drained, weary, and almost ready to collapse under the weight of it all. And yet, this is the moment where your true power is revealed. This is the point where the weak give up, but the strong rise. This is where you discover that the power within you is greater than anything that has tried to break you. Think about the battles you have already survived. There were times when you thought you wouldn't make it, times when you cried out for relief, times when you questioned if you could endure another day. But somehow, you did. Somehow, you found the strength to take one more step, to push through the pain, to rise again after every fall. That wasn't just your willpower. That was divine strength flowing through you. And now, as you face this final test, that same strength is still within you. The enemy wants you to believe you have nothing left, but that is a lie. Because what you are feeling right now is not the end. It is the moment just before your greatest breakthrough. This is how God works. He takes His chosen ones to the point of complete exhaustion, not to destroy them, but to show them that their strength is not their own. This is where supernatural endurance takes over. When your body is weak, your spirit becomes stronger. When your mind is weary, divine wisdom begins to guide you. When you feel like you cannot go any further, that is when God Himself carries you the rest of the way. The enemy is terrified of what happens when a chosen one refuses to quit, even in their weakest moment. Because that is when miracles take place. That is when doors that were locked for years suddenly swing open. That is when chains that seemed unbreakable shatter in an instant. So yes, you are tired. Yes, you have given everything you have. But this is not the time to stop. This is not the time to doubt. This is the moment where you prove, once and for all, that nothing, not exhaustion, not pain, not fear, can stop a chosen one who is walking in divine purpose. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you realize. And if you keep going just a little longer, you will see that this moment of exhaustion was never meant to break you. It was meant to reveal the unstoppable warrior that you truly are. Stay strong, chosen one. Your greatest victory is just ahead. Chosen one, you have come too far to turn back now. You have endured the storms, survived the betrayals, and overcome obstacles that would have destroyed most people. But now, as you stand on the edge of your breakthrough, the enemy is launching his final attack. This is the moment he fears the most. He knows you are about to step into something greater, something divine, something that will change your life forever. And because he cannot stop God's plan, he will do everything in his power to stop you instead. The closer you are to the finish line, the greater the attack will be. But listen to me. Do not fall for his trap. Do not let him win. The enemy works in patterns, and his favorite strategy is to strike hardest when you are at your weakest. He will send discouragement, making you feel like nothing is changing, like your prayers are going unanswered, like your struggles are in vain. He will try to plant doubt in your mind, whispering lies that tell you it's not worth it, that you should give up, that maybe you were never meant to succeed. He will use people, sometimes even those closest to you, to distract you, betray you, or pull you away from your purpose. He will make the weight of this final test feel unbearable so that you will surrender just before your blessing arrives. This is why you must stay alert. This is why you cannot afford to be distracted. The enemy does not fight those who are going nowhere. He fights those who are dangerous to his kingdom. And you, chosen one, are dangerous. Your elevation will not only change your life, but also impact countless others. That is why he is desperate to stop you now. But he has already lost, because no weapon formed against you will prosper. His attacks may be strong, but God's power within you is stronger. The key is to endure. Keep going, keep believing, keep praying. The battle may be intense, but the victory is already written in your favor. So when the pressure increases, when the resistance becomes unbearable, when everything in you wants to quit, remember this: it is happening because you are at the very edge of your breakthrough. Do not let the enemy win in the final moments. You have fought too hard to be stopped now. Keep your faith unshakable, your spirit unbreakable, and your eyes fixed on God. Because if you refuse to be broken, if you refuse to give in, you will cross that finish line. And when you do, you will step into a life so blessed, so abundant, so powerful, that the enemy will regret ever trying to stop you. Stay strong, chosen one. The victory is already yours. Chosen one, faith is easy when everything is going well, when doors are opening, when prayers are being answered, when blessings are flowing effortlessly into your life. But true faith is tested in the silence, in the waiting, in the moments when everything seems to be falling apart. Right now, you may be looking at your life and wondering why things feel so uncertain. You may feel like you are walking through a storm without direction, like you are standing on the edge of a cliff with no sign of rescue. This is not a mistake. This is a test. God is watching to see if you will still trust Him when nothing makes sense. This is the kind of test that separates those who truly believe from those who only trust when it is convenient. Can you still praise Him when you don't see the answer? Can you still believe in His promises when everything around you suggests the opposite? This is where most people fail. When the pressure becomes too much, they abandon their faith. They start looking for shortcuts, doubting God's plan, or allowing fear to control their decisions. But chosen one, you are different. You have been called to walk by faith, not by sight. And that means even when things look uncertain, even when you can't see the way forward, you must trust that God is already working everything out for your good. Look at the stories of those who came before you. Abraham was told to leave everything behind, without knowing where he was going, yet he obeyed. The Israelites stood before the Red Sea with an army behind them, having no idea that God was about to part the waters. Even Jesus himself, before his greatest victory, had to endure betrayal, suffering, and silence from heaven. Every chosen one faces a moment where they must decide, will I trust God, even when everything in my life tells me to doubt? This is your moment. This is your test. Will you surrender to fear, or will you stand firm and declare that no matter what, you will trust in the one who never fails? The enemy wants you to panic. He wants you to believe that God has forgotten you. But that is a lie. God is not absent. He is watching. He is waiting for you to prove that your faith is unshakable. Because the moment you pass this test, the moment you refuse to give up, the breakthrough you have been praying for will manifest. The uncertainty will turn into clarity, the struggle will turn into testimony, and the waiting will turn into divine acceleration. But first, you must hold on. First, you must trust. Because when you trust in God, even in the darkest moments, He will always lead you into the light. Stay strong, chosen one. Your faith is the key to unlocking the miracle that is coming your way. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why the things you desire the most seem to take the longest to arrive? Why does it feel like God is delaying your breakthrough, your blessings, and the promises He has spoken over your life? The truth is, God is not denying you. He is preparing you. Right now, your patience is being tested, not because He wants to frustrate you, but because what's coming requires a greater level of maturity, wisdom, and spiritual strength. If you were given everything you asked for too soon, it could overwhelm you. But God, in His divine wisdom, knows exactly when you will be ready. Think of a child who wants to drive a car. The desire may be there, the excitement may be real, but without the necessary maturity, that blessing would become a danger instead of a gift. In the same way, God is not just interested in giving you what you want. He is interested in making sure you are prepared to handle it. If He is making you wait, it is because He is refining you, strengthening you, and developing you into the person who can carry the weight of the blessings He has prepared. This waiting season is not about punishment, it is about preparation. God is stretching your patience so that when the time comes, you will not only receive your blessings but also sustain them. Many people fail in life, not because they were never meant to succeed, but because they stepped into something they were not ready for. They rushed ahead of God's timing, forcing doors open instead of waiting for divine alignment. And as a result, they lost what was meant to be theirs. Chosen one, do not make that mistake. Your waiting season is sacred. It is the time when God is shaping you, teaching you, and imparting wisdom that will be necessary for the next level. Right now, you may feel like nothing is happening, like you are standing still while others are moving forward. But what you don't see is that God is working behind the scenes. He is building the foundation for something greater than you can imagine. If you are feeling impatient, if you are tempted to take matters into your own hands, take a deep breath and remind yourself, God's timing is perfect. He has never been late and He never will be. What is coming is so great that you will look back on this waiting season and understand why it had to happen. You will realize that the lessons, the growth, and the spiritual discipline you developed were necessary to sustain the life you are about to step into. Stay patient, stay faithful, and trust that when the time is right, nothing and no one will be able to stop what God has prepared for you. Your moment is coming. Chosen one, just hold on a little longer. Chosen one, there is something you need to understand about this season in your life. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the more people will walk away. The more you grow, the more the enemy will try to isolate you. The more you step into your divine calling, the more betrayal you will experience. It may feel unfair, confusing, and even heartbreaking, but do not be deceived. This is not happening to break you. It is happening to strengthen you. Isolation and betrayal are not signs that you are losing. They are signs that you are elevating. The enemy knows that if he can make you feel alone, abandoned, and misunderstood, he can plant doubt in your mind and weaken your spirit. But you must see through his tactics. These painful moments are not your downfall. They are your preparation. Look at the greatest figures in history, both in the Bible and in life. Every chosen one, before stepping into greatness, had to experience deep isolation and betrayal. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers and thrown into a pit before becoming a ruler. David was hunted by King Saul, a man he once served with loyalty before he was crowned king. Even Jesus himself was betrayed by one of his own disciples before fulfilling his divine purpose. Why does this happen? Because betrayal and isolation force you to depend solely on God. When people turn their backs on you, when friends become enemies, when those you trusted the most suddenly change, it is because God is cutting away what no longer serves your journey. He is removing distractions, false alliances, and hidden enemies so that you can step fully into your destiny without interference. It may hurt. It may feel like no one understands you. But in this season, you must stay focused. Do not waste energy trying to understand why people left. Do not let their actions shake your faith. The enemy wants you to sit in your pain, to become bitter, to seek revenge, or to question your worth. But you must rise above it. God is allowing this process because He needs you to be strong, independent in spirit, and unwavering in faith. The people who walked away were never meant to go where you are going. The betrayals were only a setup for something greater. And the isolation? It is a sacred space where God is preparing you, speaking to you, and aligning you with something far beyond what you could ever imagine. So, if you feel alone right now, if the betrayal has cut deep, remind yourself, this is not a punishment, it is a promotion. The pain will pass, but the purpose it serves will last forever. Stay focused, chosen one. Do not let distractions pull you away from what God is about to do in your life. You are being set apart for something greater, and soon you will understand why this had to happen. Keep your heart pure, your vision clear, and your spirit strong. Your destiny is unfolding, and nothing, not betrayal, not isolation, not even the enemy himself, can stop what God has already ordained for you. Chosen one, have you ever felt like you're being stretched beyond what you can handle? Like the weight on your shoulders is becoming too heavy and the journey ahead seems impossible? This is not a sign of failure. This is a sign that your breakthrough is not an ordinary one. What God is about to do in your life is beyond human limits, and that is why your struggle has been greater than most. You are not being tested by small challenges because your calling is not small. You are not facing ordinary obstacles because your destiny is extraordinary. The pressure, the trials, the intensity of your battles, it is all proof that something supernatural is about to take place in your life. When God is preparing to elevate you to a level that defies human understanding, He first pushes you beyond your own limitations. He allows situations that seem impossible, struggles that feel unbearable, and tests that appear to have no way out. Why? Because what He is about to release in your life is not something you can accomplish with human effort alone. He is taking you to a level where His power will be the only explanation for your success. If your breakthrough were something small, it wouldn't require this level of stretching. If your blessing were something ordinary, you wouldn't need this kind of endurance. But because your destiny is beyond human comprehension, your preparation must also be beyond human limits. Think about it. Moses was pushed to the edge when he stood before the Red Sea with an army behind him. There was no human solution to his problem, but that was exactly the point. When there was no way forward, God made a way where there was none. Elijah, exhausted and on the verge of giving up, was fed by divine provision. Even Jesus, in His final moments before victory, had to endure the greatest suffering known to man. Why? Because when God moves in supernatural ways, He takes His chosen ones to places where only His power can sustain them. Right now, you may feel like you are at your breaking point. You may feel like you have done all you can, like you have no more strength left. But this is exactly where miracles happen. This is the moment when God steps in and does what no human could ever do. Do not be afraid of how stretched you feel. Embrace it. It means you are about to see a breakthrough that is beyond logic, beyond reason, and beyond anything you have ever imagined. Keep holding on, chosen one. You are not being pushed to the edge to fall. You are being pushed to the edge so that God can take you beyond every human limit and into the miraculous destiny He has prepared for you. Chosen one, In this season of testing, it is not just your actions that are being examined. It is your heart. God is watching how you respond to the trials, the delays, the betrayals, and the disappointments. Will you remain pure in spirit, or will bitterness take root? Will you stay humble, or will pride rise up in moments of success? Will you continue to trust even when things don't make sense, or will doubt cause you to turn away? Your heart is being measured because where you are going requires a heart that is steadfast, unshakable, and fully aligned with God's will. Many people desire greatness, but not everyone has the heart to sustain it. Look around. How many have been elevated only to fall because their character could not handle the position they received? Talent can take you far, but it is integrity that will keep you there. This is why God tests your heart before He blesses you. He is not looking for perfection, but He is looking for purity. He is looking for a heart that does not turn cold in adversity, a heart that does not seek revenge when wronged, a heart that does not waver when the road becomes difficult. This is why you must guard your heart at all costs. The enemy will try to corrupt it through pain, through frustration, through the actions of others, but you must not allow him to win. When God chose David to be king, it was not because of his appearance or his strength. It was because of his heart. While others were looking at outward qualifications, God saw the purity, humility, and faithfulness in David's spirit. That is why David was chosen, and that is why he was able to withstand every storm, every attack, and every challenge. You are in the same position now. God is measuring you, preparing you, refining you. If you remain faithful in this season, if you do not allow your heart to be poisoned by negativity, then when the time comes, you will step into your destiny fully prepared to handle the blessings that are coming. So no matter what happens, stay pure, stay humble, stay faithful. Do not let anger, pride, or doubt steal your blessing before it arrives. Keep your heart aligned with God, and in due time, He will elevate you beyond your wildest imagination. This is a test, but it is one that you are meant to pass, and when you do, nothing will be able to stop what God has planned for your life. Stay strong, chosen one. Your heart is the key to unlocking the divine future that awaits you. Chosen one, what you are facing right now is not random. It is not a mistake, and it is not meant to destroy you. This is a divine setup, a carefully orchestrated test designed to position you for the next level of your destiny. God has placed you in this situation because He is preparing you for something greater, something that your current self is not yet fully equipped to handle. But once you pass this test, the doors that have been locked will suddenly open. The delays you have experienced will turn into acceleration. The struggles that seemed endless will vanish, replaced by divine favor and opportunity. You see, every major breakthrough is preceded by a moment of testing. Look at the life of Joseph. Before he became a ruler in Egypt, he had to endure betrayal, false accusations, and imprisonment. But what seemed like suffering was actually a setup. Each hardship was moving him closer to his divine appointment. Had he failed the test by becoming bitter, losing faith, or abandoning his purpose, he would have never reached the throne. The same applies to you. Right now, your patience, faith, and endurance are being stretched because God is watching to see if you are ready for the blessing He has prepared. Do not be fooled by how things appear. The enemy wants you to believe that nothing is happening, that you are stuck, that your prayers are going unanswered. But that is a lie. What feels like a delay is actually divine timing. God is aligning every detail, every person, every opportunity, so that when the moment comes, the doors will not just open, they will swing wide, and no force on earth will be able to close them. The people who doubted you will be shocked. Those who walked away will regret it. And you, chosen one, will step into a season of favor that no one can take away from you. But you must pass this test first. Do not complain, do not give in to fear, and do not allow discouragement to take over. Instead, rise up in faith. Declare that you trust God's process, even when you cannot see the full picture. Hold on just a little longer, because the test is almost over, and when it ends, you will see doors open in ways you never expected. What is coming is bigger than anything you have imagined. Stay faithful, stay strong, and get ready, because the setup is leading to something supernatural. Chosen one, the weight you are feeling right now is not ordinary. The pressure, the struggles, the relentless attacks, they are not signs of failure. They are proof that the anointing on your life is powerful. You are not just another person walking through life. You are divinely chosen, set apart for a mission that most people could never handle. And because of this, the enemy fights you harder. The obstacles are greater, and the trials seem endless. But do not mistake the pressure for punishment. This is preparation. The anointing that rests upon you is not small, and that is why the journey to your destiny has been intense. When oil is made, the olives must be crushed. When gold is refined, it must pass through the fire. When diamonds are formed, they must endure unimaginable pressure. You are going through this process because what God is doing in your life requires a level of strength, wisdom, and endurance that only comes through testing. Others may not understand why your battle is so fierce. They may question why you keep facing setback after setback. But what they do not realize is that God is preparing you for something extraordinary. The greater the anointing, the greater the preparation. The greater the calling, the greater the warfare. Look at the life of those who carried heavy anointings before you. Moses was burdened with leading an entire nation, and his journey was filled with trials. David was anointed as king, but before he could step into his position, he had to endure years of running, fighting, and waiting. Even Jesus himself, carrying the greatest anointing of all, had to face intense opposition, betrayal, and suffering before his mission was fulfilled. The pressure you feel is not a sign that you are alone. It is a sign that you are walking the same path as those who came before you. The enemy does not attack the unimportant. If you are feeling the weight of this journey, it is because the enemy knows what you carry. Chosen one, do not break under the pressure. Do not allow the weight of this season to make you doubt your calling. Instead, stand firm and know that God is strengthening you. Every challenge, every hardship, every moment of struggle is adding to your power, refining your spirit, and making you unstoppable. When this season ends, the anointing on your life will shine brighter than ever before. The world will see what God has placed in you, and no force in hell will be able to stop the purpose that is about to unfold. Stay strong. The pressure is great, but the anointing on your life is greater. Chosen one, this moment in your life is not ordinary. What you are going through right now is not just another obstacle. It is a defining trial. It is the test that determines if you are ready for the elevation God has prepared for you. Every great destiny requires a great test. Every chosen one, before stepping into their divine assignment, must go through a season of refining. A season where everything is challenged: your faith, your endurance, your patience, and your trust in God. You are in that season now. What you do in this moment will determine how quickly you step into the next level. Look at history. Every powerful individual chosen by God had to endure a defining trial before their breakthrough. Joseph had to endure betrayal and imprisonment before becoming a ruler. David had to fight giants, flee for his life, and prove his faithfulness before wearing the crown. Esther had to risk her life before she could save her people. And even Jesus, before fulfilling his mission, had to go through the ultimate trial of pain, rejection, and sacrifice. You are not the first to go through this, and you will not be the last. But just like them, if you endure, if you stay faithful, you will step into something greater than you can imagine. This test is designed to reveal who you truly are. It will expose your weaknesses so they can be strengthened. It will strip away what no longer serves you. It will force you to lean on God like never before. The enemy will try to convince you that this is the end, that you will not make it through, that this battle is too big. But do not be deceived. This is not your ending. This is your beginning. This trial is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to promote you. The fire you are walking through is forging you into something stronger, something greater, something unshakable. Chosen one, do not give up now. You have come too far, endured too much, and sacrificed too greatly to turn back. You are standing on the edge of your elevation. The enemy knows it, and that is why the pressure has intensified. But what the enemy does not realize is that every attack, every hardship, and every painful moment is only making you stronger. You are about to rise, and when you do, nothing will be able to stop you. Hold on, keep fighting, and stay faithful, because when this trial ends, you will step into a level of favor, power, and victory that will leave everyone in awe. Your defining moment is here. Pass the test and step into your destiny. Chosen one, nothing in your life is happening by accident. The situations, the people, the dreams, the sudden changes, these are not coincidences. They are divine signals, messages from God guiding you toward your destiny. But here's the truth. Not everyone recognizes the signs when they appear. Some are too distracted by fear, others are too focused on what they have lost. But if you remain spiritually awake, if you tune your heart and mind to God's voice, you will realize that He has been speaking to you all along. Signs and confirmations are everywhere. You just have to pay close attention. Think about the sudden shifts in your life, the people who walked away without explanation, the opportunities that seemed perfect but suddenly closed, the moments where you felt a deep knowing inside, an unshakable feeling that something big was about to happen. These are not just thoughts or random events. They are signals from the divine, preparing you, protecting you, and positioning you. When God is about to elevate you, He will first remove anything that could hinder your progress. This is why certain doors closed, why certain friendships ended, and why your spirit feels different. The shift is happening, and the signs are all around you. God speaks in many ways, through dreams, through repeated messages, through divine encounters. Have you been seeing the same numbers over and over again? Have you had recurring dreams that seem too vivid to ignore? Has someone spoken words to you that directly align with something God placed in your heart? These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. When God is preparing to change your life, He will give you warnings, reassurance, and direction, but you must be willing to listen. The enemy will try to make you doubt what you are seeing. He will try to distract you with anxiety, confusion, and fear. But do not fall for his tricks. If something keeps repeating itself in your life, pay attention. God is trying to tell you something. Chosen one, now is not the time to ignore the signs. Now is the time to be still, to listen, and to move accordingly. If God is telling you to leave something behind, do it. If He is showing you a new path, follow it. If He is revealing hidden enemies, believe it. Everything is happening for a reason, and soon you will understand why. Stay spiritually aware, stay prayerful, and trust that every sign is leading you exactly where you are meant to be. Your destiny is unfolding right now. Don't miss what God is trying to show you. Chosen one, the path you are walking is unlike any other. The way you think, the way you move, and the way you experience life is different from those around you. You have been set apart, and because of that, many people will not understand you. They will question your decisions, doubt your vision, and even mock your faith. Some will label you as strange, unrealistic, or even foolish. But let this be clear. Your journey is not for them to comprehend. It is not for them to validate. God did not place your purpose in their hearts. He placed it in yours. When you are chosen, you will be misunderstood. Joseph's own brothers could not comprehend the greatness of his dreams, so they despised him. Noah was ridiculed for building an ark when there was no sign of rain. David was underestimated by his own family before he was anointed as king. Even Jesus, the most powerful being to walk this earth, was rejected by those He came to save. If they were misunderstood, why would you expect your path to be any different? The calling on your life is too divine, too powerful, too supernatural for the average mind to grasp. And that is why you must stay focused on God, not on the opinions of those who do not understand your purpose. Do not waste time trying to explain yourself to those who are blind to what God is doing in your life. Some people will never see it until it happens. Some will never believe it until they watch you rise. And even then, there will be those who still refuse to accept it. But that is not your burden to carry. You are not here to be understood. You are here to fulfill your destiny. The moment you stop seeking approval from others and start walking fully in your anointing, doors will open, miracles will unfold, and your transformation will shock those who once doubted you. Chosen one, let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. Let them question. None of it changes what God has declared over your life. Your destiny is not up for debate. Your purpose is not dependent on their acceptance. Walk boldly in your calling, knowing that those who are meant to be with you will understand in due time. And those who never do, they were never meant to be part of your journey. Keep moving forward. God's plan for you is beyond human comprehension. Chosen one, as you approach your breakthrough, everything hidden will be revealed. This final test you are going through is not just about your strength, faith, or patience. It is about exposure. God is allowing certain situations to unfold so you can see who is truly for you and who has been secretly against you all along. You may have thought certain people were with you, supporting you, cheering you on. But this season will reveal their true intentions. Some will show their loyalty, while others will betray you when you least expect it. Do not be discouraged. This is God's way of protecting you before your elevation. Before every major blessing, there is a season of separation. Look at the life of Jesus. He had 12 disciples, but in his final moments, one betrayed him, one denied him, and the rest scattered in fear. Before Joseph became ruler, his own brothers turned against him. Before David took the throne, he was hunted by King Saul, a man he once served faithfully. Even Job, when he lost everything, saw who his real friends were. The people you thought would stand by you may not be there when you need them most. But do not see this as a loss. See it as God removing the wrong ones before He blesses you with the right ones. The truth is, not everyone can go where God is taking you. Some people were only meant to be with you for a season. Others were never meant to be in your life at all. And some are being tested just like you, to see if their hearts are pure, or if they were only around for what they could gain. This final test is painful, but it is necessary. It will save you from future heartbreak, from misplaced trust, from carrying people who were never meant to walk with you into your next season. Chosen one, do not chase after those who leave. Do not beg for loyalty where it does not exist. Let God do the separating. The true ones will remain. The fake ones will expose themselves, and in the end, you will step into your destiny with the right people by your side. This test is revealing everything you need to know before you rise. Pay attention, stay strong, and trust that God is positioning you for something greater. Chosen one, you are standing at the edge of a breakthrough that will change everything. The trials, the setbacks, the sleepless nights, the moments of doubt, all of it has led to this moment. And now, the enemy wants you to give up. He wants you to believe that nothing is working, that your prayers have been ignored, that the pain is too much to bear. But hear this loud and clear. Do not quit. This is the final stretch, the moment where your endurance will determine your elevation. Your destiny is waiting on the other side, but only if you hold on just a little longer. Every great calling comes with great resistance. The enemy knows what you carry, and that is why the battle has been so intense. Look at your journey. There were times you should have given up, but you didn't. There were moments where you felt lost, but somehow you kept moving. That is not by accident. God has been strengthening you, building you, molding you for this very season. You may not see the full picture yet, but the foundation has been laid. Everything you have endured has prepared you for what is coming next. But if you stop now, if you turn back, you will never see the reward that is waiting for you. Look at those who came before you. Joseph had every reason to give up, but he held on, and in one moment, he went from prisoner to ruler. Job lost everything, but because he endured, God restored him with double. David could have quit while running from Saul, but instead, he kept fighting, and in time, he became king. The greatest blessings come to those who refuse to quit when the pressure is at its highest. The enemy attacks hardest when you are closest to your breakthrough. That is why this season feels unbearable, but do not be deceived. This is not the end. This is the turning point. Chosen one, your destiny depends on your endurance. Keep praying, keep believing, keep pressing forward. It may feel like you have nothing left, but God is renewing your strength even now. You are closer than you think. The doors will open, the pain will fade, and the reward will be beyond anything you imagined. But only if you refuse to quit. Hold on just a little longer. Your victory is near. Chosen one, you can feel it, can't you? The pressure, the resistance, the sudden attacks from every direction, it's all intensifying. The spiritual warfare in your life is at its highest level, and it is not by accident. The enemy sees what is coming for you. He knows that your breakthrough, your elevation, your divine moment is right around the corner. And because of that, he is doing everything in his power to shake your faith, drain your energy, and make you doubt God's promises. But let this be your confirmation. No matter how fierce the battle, victory is already yours. The greatest warfare happens right before the greatest blessings. Before Jesus stepped into his full glory, he faced intense spiritual attacks in the wilderness. Before Joseph rose to power, he was falsely accused and imprisoned. Before Daniel was honored, he was thrown into the lion's den. The pattern is clear. Whenever God is about to move in a supernatural way, the enemy fights harder. Right now, you may be facing battles in your mind, your finances, your relationships, or even your health. You may feel exhausted, like you are fighting an invisible force that won't let you move forward. But do not be deceived. The enemy can attack, but he cannot win. The victory was already declared before the battle even began. You must understand that spiritual warfare is not just about what you see, it's about what is happening in the unseen. Right now, angels are fighting on your behalf. Right now, God is blocking certain attacks you didn't even know were forming against you. Right now, the enemy is panicking because he knows he cannot stop what God has already approved for your life. The only thing he can do is try to make you give up before you see the promise fulfilled. That is why the pressure is so intense. But chosen one, you have already won. Your job is to stand firm in faith, to refuse to be shaken, and to keep declaring victory even when it looks like you are losing. Chosen one, do not let fear or doubt take hold. Lift your head high and declare that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Stay prayed up, stay spiritually alert, and do not retreat. The battle is fierce, but you were built for this. God has already given you the victory. It is only a matter of time before you see it manifest. Keep going, because the enemy's last attempt to stop you is proof that your breakthrough is moments away. Chosen one, everything in your life has been leading to this moment. The pain, the struggles, the delays, it was all preparation for the transformation that is about to take place. You may not fully see it yet, but something is shifting in the spiritual realm. Doors that were once locked are about to swing open. Chains that have held you back for years are about to break. The person you were yesterday will not be the person you are about to become. This is not just an ordinary breakthrough. It is a supernatural transformation, and you are on the verge of stepping into it. Think about how far you have come. There were moments when you thought you wouldn't survive, but you did. There were times when the pressure was unbearable, yet you endured. That was not by chance. God has been molding you, refining you, and strengthening you for something greater. The discomfort you feel now, the spiritual warfare, the sudden tests, these are all signs that your transformation is near. The enemy knows it, which is why he is trying harder than ever to break you. But what the enemy doesn't realize is that every attack, every setback, and every hardship has only pushed you closer to your destiny. Look at the caterpillar before it becomes a butterfly. It must first go into isolation, endure darkness, and break through its cocoon. But once it emerges, it is no longer the same, it is transformed. This is what is happening to you. The old version of you is being stripped away. The fears, the doubts, the limitations, all of it is being removed so you can step into your divine identity. People who once knew you will no longer recognize you. Situations that once held you back will no longer have power over you. When this transformation is complete, you will walk in a new level of favor, wisdom, and spiritual authority. Chosen one, do not let go now. You are at the final stage of your transformation. The struggle may feel intense, but that is because you are moments away from emerging into your destiny. Keep your faith strong. Keep your spirit unshaken. God is doing something miraculous in your life, and soon the world will see the undeniable proof of His power over you. Hold on. Your supernatural transformation is closer than ever. Chosen one, every tear you've shed, every sacrifice you've made, and every loss you've endured has not gone unnoticed. You may have walked through seasons where everything seemed to be slipping through your fingers. Opportunities vanished, relationships crumbled, finances dried up, and dreams felt delayed. But let this be your confirmation. Nothing you have lost was truly lost. In God's divine plan, everything that was taken from you is being prepared for a supernatural restoration. Not only will it be returned, but it will be multiplied beyond what you can imagine. Look at the pattern of restoration in the lives of those who came before you. Job lost everything, his wealth, his family, his health. But because he remained faithful, God restored him with double of what he had before. Joseph was betrayed and thrown into prison, stripped of everything. But in one divine moment, he was elevated to a position greater than he ever dreamed. Even Jesus, after his greatest loss on the cross, was glorified in resurrection with all power in his hands. This is how God works. He allows loss only when he plans to restore with greater abundance. You have not been forsaken. You have been positioned for a comeback that will leave everyone in awe. The enemy thought he was breaking you. He thought the losses, the disappointments, and the betrayals would destroy you. But what he did not realize was that every loss was a setup for something greater. The relationships that ended, God is replacing them with people who will truly uplift you. The money that was taken, God is about to release a financial overflow that cannot be touched. The opportunities that were blocked, they were not meant for you because God is opening doors that no one can shut. The time you thought was wasted, it was actually preparation for an acceleration that will recover everything in an instant. Chosen one, prepare yourself. You are stepping into a season of divine restoration. God is not just giving you back what you lost, He is multiplying it. Your name will be honored. Your efforts will be rewarded. Your pain will be turned into power. Soon, people will look at your life and see undeniable proof that God's hand is upon you. Hold your head high, because what is coming will be so great that even your enemies will have no choice but to acknowledge that you are truly chosen. Restoration is here. Get ready to receive more than you ever imagined. Chosen one, this is it. The test of a lifetime. The moment that determines everything. You have come too far, endured too much, and sacrificed beyond measure to turn back now. This is not just another challenge. This is the final stretch, the defining moment where your faith, your endurance, and your divine calling all come together. Every battle you have faced has been leading to this. The enemy is throwing everything at you because he knows that your elevation is moments away. But no matter how hard the storm rages, no matter how fierce the attacks become, you must not break. Hold on, stand firm, and trust that God is with you in every step. He has not brought you this far to leave you. He has not allowed you to endure so much just to abandon you. He is walking beside you, strengthening you, guiding you, and protecting you from unseen dangers. Right now, heaven is moving on your behalf. The angels are fighting for you, divine doors are unlocking, and supernatural favor is about to be released into your life. Everything that was delayed is about to be accelerated. Everything that was taken is about to be restored. The promises spoken over you are about to come to pass, and nothing, no one can stop what God has planned for you. On the other side of this trial is a life beyond your wildest dreams. Stay strong. This is not the time to doubt, to question, or to waver in your faith. You are standing at the threshold of your greatest season yet. Your testimony will inspire nations, your transformation will silence every doubter, and your victory will be undeniable. Keep pushing, Keep believing and keep moving forward. The test is almost over, and soon the world will witness the unstoppable power of a chosen one stepping fully into their destiny.